Welcome to college football. Yes, another sport has arrived to the channel, and it isn't NFL football because their stadiums aren't quite as big as the ones we'll see here today. Today, we're going to be looking into some of the largest capacity stadiums, not just in North America, but the world as a whole. We're going to rank all of the FBS football bowl subdivision stadiums that have a capacity greater than 100,000. And there are a lot of iconic stadiums in this list, 8 to be exact. And before we start, I just want to mention that none of these stadiums are bad. I'm just ranking them in terms of how much I actually like them and their designs. So starting with our first entry in the ranking, and I'm saying that because it is still a very impressive stadium. It is Beaver Stadium of Penn State University. Of course, it is home to the Penn State Nittany Lions of the Big Ten Conference. This stadium was opened in 1960, renovated multiple times. It has 4 really tall, large grandstands, and it is known for the whiteout game. And it's usually a nighttime game, and it just looks really cool with all the fans in white, and the entire stadium is a bright white color. And I think the reason why this came in last or in 8th place for me, it's just the exterior is really not that great, and I don't love the design of the stadium, how it has one larger, smaller bowl and then 4 stands extending above it. I would just rather have a kind of more closed off design. I don't like how the corners are missing on the stadium. I think that's why aesthetically doesn't look as good as the others. So I guess that's its main critique at number 8. Now coming in 7th place, this team is one of Penn State's rivals in the Big Ten. It is none other than Ohio Stadium. Of course, Ohio Stadium is the home stadium of Ohio State University, and it opened in 1922. Of course, this stadium is known as the Horseshoe. It definitely has a really cool horseshoe design, and it kept that original shape since its construction, which is really interesting. Now, what's striking about this stadium especially is the facade on the outside and around the entrances. It's all kind of closed off with concrete, but it has this sort of Roman type architecture that is pretty cool. Although what I don't really like about the stadium is that the stands themselves aren't actually that tall, and I don't think it's a very imposing stadium for visitors. I'm not saying it doesn't have a good atmosphere, but just in terms of the architectural design, I don't think it is the best. The seats seem like they are a little bit far away from the field in comparison to all the other stadiums, but still, Ohio Stadium is really nice. I like that cool horseshoe design. It comes in at number 7 for me in this ranking. Now coming in at number 6, we have the Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. This is the home stadium of the Texas Longhorns at the University of Texas in Austin. And this one opened back in 1924. It's another older stadium here. Now about this stadium, it has kind of 3 larger stands. You have the 2 really big stands on either side of the field with 2 decks of seating right there. And then you have the 1 smaller end zone section, I believe it's on the south side. And they did just do a renovation to that side of the stadium. And it has this really unique kind of Longhorn cutout. They actually designed that into the seats, which is really nice. I think that's just a really cool touch. It's a modern addition to this pretty old stadium, but that's just something that will elevate it over the other stadiums in this list. In addition to that, I really like that new scoreboard and all the sweet seating around the scoreboard. I think that's a really cool addition they made. What a great renovation. But some of the things that brought it down was the fact that there are only 3 large stands. All the other stadiums have 4 large stands, but overall 6th place is pretty good for Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. So next up in 5th place, I have put Kyle Field, home of Texas A&M, and this one was opened again all the way back in 1927, but the most recent renovation where they added a massive stand to really complete the stadium here, that is really what takes it up to 5th place. Now with this one, the fact is just that it's so imposing. You got 4 really large stands in a rectangular shape, but I think it's just the fact that all these stands are so tall, and it's just really great at creating an intimidating atmosphere. The entrances are also really impressive. I like the architecture of the facade here at Kyle Field, and overall I think I was just blown away by just the massiveness of the stadium. Even though it is more of a modern look, I just still think it deserves a top 5 spot. Next up in 4th place, we do have Michigan Stadium, home of the Michigan Wolverines. Yes, it is the big house in 4th place. I believe this does have the largest capacity here on the list, and you know, maybe this one deserves a higher spot, but the fact is that it doesn't have that modern look that can beat all these other stadiums in the list. Now, I like the fact that it's a classic look with that traditional bowl style sunken into the ground construction. The problem here is that it is a dated design. Like, let's be honest here, it is a dated design. They could do with some renovations, especially on the exterior. But let's look at the positives here. I think nothing can beat a packed big house Michigan Stadium. All those fans packed together, it looks really cool, and also the fans are very close to the field. But overall, maybe it should have went higher, but for me, it's 4th. Now into the top 3, we have Bryant Denny Stadium, home of Alabama Crimson Tide, located of course in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. This one opened in 1929. Again, like the other stadiums, it is very old, but yes, Alabama's Bryant Denny Stadium, to me, it was just very impressive. I like the symmetrical architecture about it. I gotta say, it does kind of look like Ohio Stadium, but for me, it just looks a little bit better than Ohio Stadium. I love the design of the stands, how they have the large oval kind of section there and then a smaller stand on top of it. I just think it's a really balanced design, and also in terms of the exterior, it's nice. It is a little bit dated, but it does have a really nice entrance facade. But what I like about this one at number 3 is the seats are very close to the field here, and there are no obstructed sight lines at all. And just overall, it's a really tall, kind of imposing building, especially from the outside. And yeah, I'm really happy with this one at number 3. Now at number 2, we have Tiger Stadium at LSU. Of course, this hosts the LSU Tigers football team, located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And again, it was opened all the way back in 1924. But for me, this one is very unique compared to the other ones. As you can see, it's not exactly one connected structure. It's more like a few stands that were kind of put together like Lego almost. It just looks really cool in my opinion. And even though it doesn't have that kind of symmetrical look like Kyle Field, it doesn't have all 4 stands rising up, it does make up for it just with the architecture and the interior design of this. It looks really cool. It looks tall, imposing. I like the exterior as well. But yeah, I just love the design of this one, especially that far end with the large 4-tiered, I believe, stand. That is just amazing. LSU Tiger Stadium, I mean, this is just a really cool stadium, and this one will come in at number 2. Now finally at number 1, we have Neyland Stadium, home of the Tennessee Volunteers football team. It is located of course in Knoxville, Tennessee, and again, it was opened in 1921, many years ago. And I think maybe it's kind of curious why I put this at number 1, just because it does have a very bowl-shaped symmetrical look that doesn't really have any interesting, unique features about it specifically. But I think what I like about this is the kind of atmosphere it has. Just imagine you're standing in the center of the stadium and looking all around you, especially on a game day with all those fans. Of course, they have that famous white and orange kind of checkerboard pattern they do at some games. I think Neyland Stadium is just kind of special. Objectively, it does have a really cool kind of exterior facade. It is pretty tall, especially from the outside. And I love how the entire thing is just like 2 large donuts of stands fully enclosed, and I think that's why I have it at number 1. I think it just gave me that feeling where I thought like I actually want to watch a game here more than any other stadium. So, and again, that's just my opinion. So just to round things up, at number 8, we got Beaver Stadium. At number 7, we got Ohio Stadium. At number 6, we got Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium. At number 5, we have Kyle Field. At number 4, we have Michigan Stadium. At number 3, we have Bryant Denny Stadium. At number 2, we have Tiger Stadium. And at number 1, we have Neyland Stadium. And I hope that was as uncontroversial as possible for all you guys. But realistically, I like all 8 stadiums. I want to go to all 8 stadiums and experience a game there. But anyways, if you like this video, consider dropping a like and subscribing to my channel. You can check out my other videos on there. And I always invite everyone to leave a comment in the comment section just so we could start a discussion about these awesome stadiums. But as always, I hope you have a great day. I will see you in the next one.